you may never make as much money as you think. Some of you out there, you may not be rich, but you're going to be rich in other areas. And so you must move your mindset to just thinking about money as the measure of your success and start thinking, what more can I offer this world? What have I already been given? And then that is the value you add to this world. And possibly that is what you'll be remembered for more than the money you make.
She is a financial advisor, an entrepreneur, formerly a banker for over 15 years, and the founder of Legacy Thrive Partners.
There are over 62% of Kenyans who have no exposure whatsoever to financial literacy training. They have not encountered anyone telling them how to manage their money, how to make their money last longer, how to create wealth. There is no one telling them that.
Hi everyone, my name is Lynette Irongo, and today I am so happy and privileged to be hosting the first ever podcast of Legacy Podcasts. So in this podcast, we will be discussing mostly about money, our relationship with money, how we interact with money, how you grew up with money, what you do with your money, and everything around that, around money. And today I am not alone. I am with one lady who we'll be having a discussion with, and I'm going to be introducing her. This lady is a mother, she is a leader, she is a financial advisor, an entrepreneur, formerly a banker for over 15 years, and the founder of Legacy Thrive Partners. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Vanessa Thamaini. Karibu sana. How are you feeling today?
Oh, I'm excited. This is the first episode of the Legacy podcast, and I'm excited to talk about money. I'm very passionate about money, about how to manage money, and so today I am excited, and I look forward to our conversation.
Honestly, I love money too, sana. So the feeling is mutual. I'm also here to get, get conversant with what you have to say, and I'm honestly privileged to be here, and I'm so happy. This is the first episode. Can you tell us maybe about your childhood? How did you grow up? Maybe.
Oh my, I had a very colorful childhood. I grew up in a not so humble, let me not say a humble background, but not so humble background. My parents were both teachers, and back then, me being a teacher was sort of a privilege.
So it was a big deal for you.
It was. And so I can't say that I really came from a poor background. And but we did struggle. Of course, we had our struggles for back then, raising 3 children in that era and trying to give them the best there was in life. Of course, we did miss out on a few things. So I'm the middle child, and growing up as a middle child, of course, there's that middle child syndrome where you tend to miss out on a lot of things. And some of the things I missed out on is something like going for tuition. I used to think that was such a big deal. But then what my parents were really keen on is giving us an education and making sure, we are progressing from primary to high school to campus. So me and my siblings all went to campus and all did our degrees. And so I really thank my parents giving us that foundation. Because, that back then, not everyone had that option of going all the way to university. So my childhood was good. But we did hear a lot of statements, of course, which many of us millennials can relate to. Hakuna pesa, there is no money, there is not enough money. Whenever you need something, then you would have to somehow either earn it or, wait on it. My dad would tell you, hey, the salary for last month is over. Let's wait for the next one.
Your dad is he was giving you an explanation.
You say wait for the next.
They will just say like, hakuna pesa, Okay, yeah.
Yeah, my dad was very open about these things. So I didn't find a time when I couldn't go to him and ask. But we did struggle, not being able to pay school fees, being sent home because of school fees. And you'd come back and my dad tell, I have a plan, just wait on the plan. And so in the choices of who would go home, I'd be the first choice. So pay for my siblings and then me the last one.
Oh yeah. Okay. A quick question. Did you know about finances at a young age? Were they open about it, Ama? What can you say?
Well, they didn't necessarily teach us about money and tell you, use money like this, like this. But I thank my family because when we didn't have money, then there was always, then what do we do? And so from a young age, I learned how to hustle. I didn't go out there, do business of any kind. My dad used to do all kinds of things. And to this day, we are still proud of the things he did. He'd go out and sell exercise books and pencils and be able to make money. At least that day we have a meal. And so for me, I learned that you had to work hard for money. Yes, and if you didn't have it, it is up to you to go look for it. So it made me very entrepreneurial from a very young age. I was the one selling biscuits in high school. Buy them for 50 cents, sell them for a shilling. But the basics of how to use money then came in. Now you had to really plan your money because now it wasn't a lot. So you had to make it stretch. So get, your pocket money and make it stretch a whole term. And so that was the foundation. But still, I wouldn't say I learned everything there was to do with money back then, but it was a good foundation. Yeah.
What about campus? You've mentioned that all of you, 3 siblings, were able to go to campus. So what did you study?
Oh, I went to Moi University and I studied Bachelor of Science in Statistics and Pure Mathematics, which was, I don't know, I was very passionate about maths. Numbers always fascinated me. So for me, I pursued that line. I had options of other things, but that maths was my thing. And because I excelled in it, it was an easy choice.
So after that, after campus, what is your first job like?
So when I left campus, it was during that era where, you'd take like 2 years trying to look for a job. And for me, the first job I landed was working as an insurance agent. And you'd be recruited into an agency and then you go out and sell insurance. And back then, that was in the late 2000. And we were told that we are providing financial advisory services. I tell you, the title of a financial advisor back then sounded very fancy. And it really, made us go out there and sell insurance like it was the actual financial plan. And I remember the other day just going through my emails and finding an email I had sent to a client back then, telling them about financial planning. So, but in that job, it was hard. Selling insurance was hard. It taught me a lot of resilience. We used to go sit in Central Park and try and figure out what's our next move.
So you guys are sitting in Central Park. These days, people sit in Jivanji, eh?
Central Park was the bougie one compared to Uhuru Park. Yes, it had green grass and it had trees. So it was a nice place to go chill. But it was also the place of reflection for me during that season. I worked for about a year in that insurance company. But then it started to expose me a lot to now the financial world and how even investments are being done. What counts.
How long were you in the insurance industry?
I was there for 1 year.
Okay.
Yes. Before I transitioned, then I realized this is not lucrative for my pocket.
Unajua insurance, if you are not selling, you are not earning.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you're not earning, you're zero. So you're going home with a zero paycheck.
Yeah.
And then life is when I was really eager for life and hoping, now I've stepped into adulthood. Let me do something with my life. So I thought of transitioning from insurance.
Okay.
But I didn't know what was next. for me, I was just looking for a well-paying job.
So at that time, well, by the time now you are getting into the banking industry, were you looking at other opportunities maybe?
Yes. I did work in the IEC. What is IEBC today? Back then it was interim because they still hadn't inaugurated it. They still interim. What electoral? It was IIEC, and we were doing voter registration. So I did that.
Time. Sisi Gen Z hatukupata hiyo.
Yes, and it was a well-paid job. I mean, they used to pay 1,000 a day. That was unheard of.
1,000 at that time, was a lot.
It was a lot, and considering just starting off in life, it was good. So for me, I started off insurance, then I got now to that. That was sort of.
But that was like a short period.
Yes, it was just 4 months, and then now I was really keen on getting into a more permanent job, because even this was just a stint for a while. So I needed to get into a job. So I was still applying. Yes.
So how did you get into the banking industry now?
That is a funny story. So back then, we used to do job applications through Nation Media and Standard Media. They would put out advertisements on their newspapers and then tell you to drop your CVs and your application letters at their offices. So we would, put your everything in an envelope, then walk all the way to Nation House, and then you'll be told you're putting your name is here. And there was a pile that was taller than me, a pile of guys who had sent their applications. And they never used to tell you which company, so they'll just tell you a big company. So I put in, and I'm looking at this pile. They are like...
So you are dropping among the pile, Amma?
Yes, you're just dropping in the pile. And they tell you they will go through the pile and they will call you.
Did they really go through the pile of all those ninis?
I don't know, but they did. And every day we would go, there was a new pile. So they would collect the pile. Then the next day, when you're taking a friend or somebody else, they would go find out the pile is picking up. Then out of that, after a period of like 2 months, I'd even given up that maybe my application got lost in the pile. I received a phone call from the bank saying, we would want you to come for an aptitude test. And I was like, what do you mean? And said, okay. Then I showed up for the aptitude test, and we were over 400 people.
Can you please tell our audience maybe what an aptitude test is?
Oh, an aptitude test is a psychometric test. It's a test just to see what skills you have. And they would range from mathematical skills to grammatical skills to analytical skills, social skills. And they're just trying to figure out whether you're the best fit. Yes, by doing an elimination process. Again, as we got into that room, there were over 400 people. And they tell us they're only picking 20 people. So after 2 weeks or so, I received a phone call and told me, would you like to come and work with us? But then they didn't give us a permanent role. Told, could you come and work with us on casual basis? And it was sort of a training and evaluation process, just to see whether you have the skills, whether you have the staying power. So so that's how I first joined the bank, as a casual worker. And we used to be paid based on the work we had done.
You know, that time, being a banker was such a big deal, eh? Because even right now, when you say you work at the bank, people are just looking at you like, where the money is, yeah? So at that time, was working in the bank your dream job?
Not necessarily. My dream job was...
tell us. Tell us.
I wanted to be a housewife. I know, right? I never thought of myself as a...
Gen Z can't relate because hata hapo kwa wife sasa hata ndio umekosea.
I know. I don't know. I had read so many novels and so many, those, what's to call them, what? The Daniel Steele kind of novels back then. And I had this vision that a housewife was someone who was able to manage her home, you know, take care of her husband, take care of her children. And she's the one who's able to give the husband comfort so that he can go out and look for money. So for me, I was ready to be a housewife. Wow. Working was not, working in the formal sector was not something I had envisioned for myself. So even as I'm getting into the banking, it's because my first dream had failed. Because at this point I wasn't married, so figuring, now there's no husband to be housewife too. So let me just get into this job. And I had also started learning now some of the skills, and especially about handling money. You know, we started to see money coming in, so I'm starting to have a feel of the money. And of course, what the bank is offering is way better than what you are being offered elsewhere. So I said, okay, let's try this. Let's try this. Plus, there was also a lot of hype around being a graduate trainee for a bank. And my family was, of course, very happy. Hey, we have a banker in our, you know, like they always get happy about having a doctor or what. Those were happy.
Yeah.
Now they have a banker.
Now you're an example even in the whole community.
Yes.
You study so that you can be like Vanessa of Mama Nani.
Exactly. Yeah. So there was that also pressure. And when I got in, I got in with an open mind. I was like, okay, Sawa, let me learn what's in here. Let me find out, is this where I should be? And so I abandoned my dream of being a housewife.
Yeah, this is what you wanted, but life haikuangi hivyo.
Life is here now. Here is where we are. So let's move with it. Yes. So it became now a learning season for me. Starting from the bottom, you'd start off from where you're just doing account opening or you're doing tailoring, basic jobs. There's nothing to think about. You just, once you learn the system, then that's it. Yeah, but I got curious, really curious in that whole, because 15 years, working in that same bank. Yeah, so we got curious about a lot of things internally, just what was happening in the bank and also what was happening in the industry. Yes, so I transitioned a lot. I transitioned a lot throughout the bank. I came from, being a trainee to now doing tailoring, doing customer service, to then dealing with high net worth clients, to then relationship management, and then to now the investment side of things, where I was handling corporates and very high net worth clients. Yes, so it became a process, and for me, I enjoyed the process. Yeah.
How would you say the 15 years were like? Is that what happened so that you could transition now from the bank to now what you're doing right now? Like, how was the process? Was there like something that made you to feel like, no, I want to move to something else? What exactly happened?
I think the one good thing about that bank is that they offered many opportunities for training. And training in the sense they had a system, and you would plug into the system and get to learn anything you wanted. And I became a trainer of other people. So I would consume a lot of their training material. And part of that, I got to be part of a group that was being trained on financial planning. And oh my, that was mind-blowing for me. At this point, I'd only stayed for like 3 years in the bank. And so they were sort of introducing this as part of their orientation. So we got to be just part of the guys who are now being taken through this. And the lady who was taking us through, she had many nuggets. And I drank it in, and I was like, what do you mean? You mean this is how we need to look at our finances? And I got excited. And I started implementing some of those things almost immediately. And this we are talking about is more than 13 years back. And they changed my life. And it also changed the way I thought about my role within the bank and what opportunities were there. So I started actively pursuing now things that had to do with financial planning, managing your money. I started getting very curious with clients. I would ask them, hey, how did you make your money? And how you'd meet someone who's been a millionaire. You didn't even know some of them in Kenya. And they ask, hey, how did you get your money? I mean, we are here managing your money in the bank, but how did you make this money to get here? And they'll tell you, they'll willingly share, wisdom and insight. And so I literally drank it in, and I got curious. By the time I had done almost every area within the branch, because the branch has different departments, I was now curious to do something outside of the branch. And of course, investments became my goal. Now I wanted to move to that world, to move to a world that is talking about money beyond just depositing and withdrawing, borrowing and putting on fixed deposit. Now I wanted to know, is there a world outside of this? And the bank then had a management side of things. They do fund management. And so even then they started training us. And every time they would come train us, I was so curious. I'd ask them. I'd even ask them, do you have job opportunities there? I can come work. So it became a hunger for me. It became a hunger to just want to move to that world. And when the opportunity came, I jumped on it. I jumped on it. And I literally did not know what I had jumped into. The investment world is way bigger than the banking world. And it opened up my mind. It opened up my perspective. It really challenged some of the things I had held. I realized even the one we had been taught about financial planning, that was just the tip.
It was just the tip of the iceberg.
Yes, there was so much more to learn. And there was so much more to learn about how money is managed, how investments are done, how people are making money, how they're creating wealth. I didn't know that was a thing, like creating wealth.
Yeah.
I thought, you make money, then money keeps building up on its own.
Yeah.
Didn't think it was an active process.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that now I transitioned to the investment side. Yes.
Can you tell us how Legacy Thrive Partners came about?
Yeah, so having stayed in that side for over 2 years, and I'd noticed certain trends or rather, patterns in people's life, and especially my colleagues. My colleagues, and I included, where we sort of lived in a financial cycle, from paycheck to paycheck. So you'd get your paycheck, you've paid off your bills, then you wait for the next paycheck. And in between there, you've picked up a lot of debt, you've picked up a lot of obligations. And every year, even despite what comes in is probably an increase or a bonus, you're still in that financial cycle. And there seems to be no end. And as a matter of fact, the cycle keeps getting bigger and bigger. You would find this year you have 1 million worth of debt. But next year, instead of it having reduced, now you have over 2 million because other obligations have come in. And so I started asking, is there a way out? Is there a way out? This, because I was interacting a lot in that job with guys who are making millions. Whenever I'd go to a table, what is being brought on the table is millions and billions of money. Then how did these people make this money? So I'd listen in to some of these conversations, and I realized there is a way out.
So these are like clients in the bank?
Yes.
Okay.
So you'd call us before meetings, you'd go for conferences, you'd go for speaking engagements, and you'd get to hear from different people and hear how they are making money work for them. And here we are working for money.
Yeah.
So I figured that let me find a solution. And one of the things I started doing is offering the same financial planning training that I got. Now I started offering it to my clients, other departments, or clients who would tell them, you're running, let's say, a law firm, you have 20 staff. Can I come and train your staff? So we started offering that as an add-on to whatever other services the bank was offering. And for me, I'd feel re-energized. Whenever we're doing those trainings, whenever we are talking about money, we're talking about how to get better at it. And somehow people had no idea. Even my own colleagues, even guys in the bank had no idea that these options existed. This way of thinking about money existed. They didn't know. They didn't know that they were actually in a loop. Most people are not even aware. Yes, you're just going through life.
And these are people who are working in the bank.
In the bank.
Sakama, if people working in the bank don't know these things, who is supposed to know?
See, I was privileged to get to have this information. Not everyone has this information available to them. So legacy, now by the time I had spent 2 years, I'd done a bit of those trainings. And I figured I needed to get out and do this for people. There are over 62% of Kenyans who have no exposure whatsoever to financial literacy training. They have not encountered anyone telling them how to manage their money, how to make their money last longer, how to create wealth. There is no one telling them that. And I saw there as a gap that I could fill in because I had this information. So I stepped out to found a legacy. And it was founded in a season where I had just stepped out of the bank. Again, situations within the bank sort of forced me out. But then I sat and I asked God, what is the thing you would want me to do? And how do I do it? And so the idea for Legacy Thrive Partners came. Legacy Thrive Partners was born with many names, but I finally settled to Legacy Thrive Partners because we want to help you build a legacy, but thrive while you're at it, and we are partnering with you in this journey, so you're not walking alone. Yes. And not only that, is that we are based in whatever principles and wisdom we teach at Legacy is also based on God's word, because God's word is rich. Yes, to take us through any season of our lives, including our finances. The Bible has over 2,000 verses about money. And so God clearly is concerned about our money and how we manage our money. Yeah, so we incorporate that in terms of our trainings, in terms of our interactions, and in terms of even how we advise you where to put your money, where to invest your money.
How did you get into investment?
Personally? Personally, again, because of that hunger I had for wanting to know more, I bumped into, I think the first investment that I bumped into was money market funds. And so I started with that. And whereas before my money would sit in the bank earning zero, now my 5,000 shillings, my 10,000 shillings is earning something. It got me excited. And of course, being in that industry exposed me to hearing more. I started realizing, things like government bonds are not something for the elite or for the corporates to get into. Even I as an individual can get into it. So that's how I sort of infiltrated the investment world. I started going deeper. Yes.
What will you tell someone who wants to get into investment and they don't know what to do, where to start?
First thing is you must be curious. I think many of us are not even aware of how our life is running through. And so we do not interrogate the things we do. So, or the things we hear, or the things you get exposed to. So first thing is curiosity. Be curious about what is happening around you, what options are there. Whenever you hear someone talking about something, plug in, allow yourself to get to know this information. Two, information is out there, especially right now. It is out there. Our capital markets, this is where, all these investments options sit. We have a regulator, Capital Markets Authority, and they regulate that whole investment industry. So if you want to know who you can learn from, just go to CMA website and it will tell you all the people they have licensed. Then you can get to hear from these people and they will tell you the options that are there. And right now, I mean, social media has been flooded with a lot of information. As unlike before, now information is all around us. So get curious, go research. I mean, plug in even with us at Legacy Thrive Partners. We have so many programs where we teach you the different investment options. So you come in and you get to learn and learn them as basic as you need to. Yes, such that you can even explain to your child. Yes, that this is what this investment does. And also to help you that you're not easily swayed. Not everything that comes in the industries or in the conversations we have is legitimate. So we've seen pyramid schemes, they are shrouding themselves like money market funds or like, I don't know, investing in stocks. So come and learn the right thing so that you're able to interrogate what information you receive. Yeah.
You know, when you are talking about the constraints and the cycle that people in the bank were going through, I can just imagine if those are people in the bank, how many more people are in that cycle outside here? You know, like coming from debt to debt, paycheck to paycheck, hand to mouth. There is that cycle that people are in. And not just that small one, it's just that thing of like paycheck to paycheck. You're like, my money is too small. This is not money I can invest. This is not money I can save. Someone like that who is in that cycle, they don't even think that they can be able to invest money or grow their money. What can you tell them?
First thing I would tell them is to interrogate internally what is driving them. And especially when it comes to how we manage our money. Reason being, most of us have certain beliefs and habits around money that are reinforcing that cycle. So you believe money should serve you, or money is an end in itself, so you need to chase money as much as possible. Or you believe money is never enough. So let's just use it as it is. You don't manage it. We don't plan for it. We don't think it has a future. So it's for now and let's be done. So a lot of us have those habits and those beliefs. And that is why we need to start fast, because we need to heal that wound from exactly where it started. And it started there. If you start doing, even right now, if I start giving you a budget and tell you, this is how much you spend on your rent, it won't help you if I haven't addressed the very thing that keeps you in that cycle, which is your habits, your relationship with money, your attitude towards money. So you must start there. And for us at Legacy, we want you to start first of all finding out, how do you think about money? What is your mindset around money? And then now, once we have helped you move to a good mindset, from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset, then we can now help you create a plan. Then once you have the plan, because the plan, you must have a plan. You can't just be existing and allowing life to just keep going through that cycle.
Yeah.
You must have a plan of how you spend your money, how you save your money, how you pay your debts. Most of us, debts, we leave them to just pay themselves. But you must proactively pay your debts and not even take up any more. So you can't be paying Peter, taking from Paul to pay Peter. So you keep yourself in that cycle. And 3, you must be very disciplined once you have the plan. Because it can't be any effective if you don't implement it. So discipline. And discipline, I can't come and teach you discipline. That one you have to build it up within yourselves. And how do you do that? You start small. You start changing your habits, your spending habits, the way you think has to change, so that now you can settle on being disciplined and being able to run through that plan. And I can assure you, you can get yourself out of that cycle. It's never too late. Never too late. it does not matter what heap of debt you are in or how big this cycle is, you can get out of it. And you must be fully assured in yourself that you can get out of it.
Yeah.
Yes, and then we give you the tools how to get out of it.
You have mentioned that you guys can help us. That is the Legacy Thrive Partners.
Yeah.
So can you please tell us what are some of the programs that you guys have that people can get into to change maybe their beliefs or to learn more about money, how to get out of this cycle, how to change your belief, how to become better with money?
Okay. We run many programs, but our entry program is the Legacy Building Program. And this is a 12-week online financial literacy program. And it basically gives you, first of all, challenges some of the things you have thought about money and challenge some of those behaviors and attitudes. Then it gives you the tools, how to do your planning, how to plan your money. Then two, it shows you what options are there in the investment world that you can put in your money and how the right way to approach them. Then two, we help you build towards a legacy, because we want you to outlive yourself, to basically get into a flow that comes on even to the next generation. You learn to create wealth. We get to the point where wealth doesn't just stay in your generation, that gets on to the next generation. Then entry into that is that we have a free webinar, and this is sort of a thought-provoking session where we are getting you to now critically interrogate yourself. And this happens, we have one coming up on the 15th of July.
Okay.
Yes. And then thereafter, we have a masterclass. So once you've learned all these things for 12 weeks, then we bring you in for an in-person session where we give you the practical tools. There, you're coming down to write your financial plan. You're doing forecasting on how you want your finances to go. We are addressing things now on a more personal basis. Yes.
That's really insightful. I would also want to tell the audience that I'm one of the people who did the 12 weeks program, and it was really good, and I graduated. I'm a very good student, and I didn't miss a class. Clap for me. So in case you spot me somewhere with a GLE, like, you shouldn't be shocked, because I have the skills. I'm just implementing step by step. So you can tell maybe our audience, after everything that we've talked about, maybe this is the first podcast, but what can they expect more from this podcast?
Yeah. So guys, we are really excited, because on this podcast, we are going to be hosting some amazing people. And these people are going to just tell you, one, give you real life experiences. Guys who have gone through either our programs or interacted with us one way or another and gotten to learn a skill that has changed their lives. So you will see that it is not an exception, that anyone can learn and anyone can change their lives. Two, we're going to be having experts, guys who have been in the investment and financial industry, and they have nuggets of wisdom. So stay tuned. You can get to learn a lot here. And then three, we're just going to be inviting fun people, because we want you guys to be as relatable, for you to know that even you, Kimaumana is real to everyone. It's not just you, that you're not alone in this journey. So yes, so stay tuned. We really have a lot coming in store for you. And I'm so excited to even just have Lynette, because Lynette was such so excited to learn during our last program, and she's already turning around her life. So we'll be having more like that. So join us, please.
Thank you so much. Can you please tell our audience how they can reach Legacy Thrive Partners?
Okay. As Legacy Thrive Partners, we are available on almost every social platform. We are on LinkedIn, we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, and we are on YouTube. You can get to watch clips of some of the sessions during our programs on YouTube and get to learn. Even as this podcast is running, also our programs are running. Keep in touch on all our socials so that you get to know what's happening next and what's coming and what is in store for you. One thing about Legacy is that we are very passionate about putting information out there and putting the right information out there. And two, at such a subsidized level. I mean, we are really giving this away. So please keep in touch with us. Make sure you're following us on all those pages. On those pages, we appear as Legacy Thrive Partners. So just type that and you'll be able to follow us.
Thank you so much. That was a very, very good session. As we finish, I'm going to tell you to tell us one unpopular opinion about money.
Wow. You may never make as much money as you think. That's
hard to hear.
Let that sink with you. Reason being, we were all created unequal. And so there will be those of us who will make a lot of money. Then there will be those of us who won't. The difference is we must take ourselves beyond money. And we stop thinking that money is the thing that defines us as successful. It's the thing that makes us be admired. It's the thing that gives us status. We must move beyond money. Some of you out there, you may not be rich, but you're going to be rich in other areas. And so you must move your mindset to just thinking about money as the measure of your success and start thinking, what more can I offer this world? What have I already been given? And then that is the value you add to this world. And possibly that is what you'll be remembered for more than the money you make. So it's a hard pill to swallow, but it is also a mind shift. We need to have that mind shift and to look beyond money. I can tell you seated here that I am not wealthy by measure of this world. I am not. But in myself, I know I am wealthy because what I give to the world is much more than just money. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Oh my God, that was so lovely, so insightful. Thank you for telling us about Legacy Thrive Partners, and also thank you for giving your gifts to us, because when you went and you got these skills and you learned, you saw there was a gap and you decided, I want to do this, I want to give back to the society. And also, I feel like you taking a leap to leave the bank, somewhere where you have been for 15 years, it was such a big thing to do, to, like to just be here and be like, let me go and do this. It's a new thing. You didn't know what to expect. But here you are, the first podcast, and even the programs that you're already doing, and even the personal classes and programs that you offer with people, with investment and all those things. So thank you so much for the gift that you are to us. And I wish you all the best in Legacy Thrive Partners and in Legacy Podcasts.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. I think you guys, you'll be seeing a lot of her here. So you should get used to her voice and her insights, meaning should expect a lot from her. So thank you so much, everyone, for staying tuned until this point. For me, it's goodbye.